Welcome to the Small Business Heroes podcast, where small business owners tell their story so we can learn from their experience. My name is Tony Radford. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hi, everybody. My guest today is Jan Kiermasz from Black Velvet Associates. Jan, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thanks, Tony. And you?
Yes, I'm not bad at all. Thank you very much. Okay, Jan, I think I've known you for about 2 years, something like that.
Something along those lines now, yeah.
Yeah, something. I wonder if you could tell us about your business.
Yeah, of course. I started as a limited company 17 years ago, originally called Galaxy Consulting Limited. We changed our name back in November 2019 to something we think is more fitting to the business owners, Black Velvet Associates. Okay, so I came from an IT background in project management and analysis, both corporate retail and automotive parts manufacture. Moved into small business sector. It was a big step, but the most logical one there was having a small child. I had to learn quite a lot of new skills. The primary one was how to design and build websites, but you can add into that accountancy, marketing, sales, networking, and a whole bunch of other stuff that it takes when you are the boss. I was lucky enough to have a bunch of transferable skills too, such as presentation, supervisory, project management, and analysis. We moved into training around about 5 years ago, and we've added analysis to the portfolio as well as that. So we've got 3 distinct brands. John Jelly is our training brand. Blue Giraffe is our web design and development brand. We added Pink Gibbon to offer more consultancy and analysis services.
Right.
Yeah. What pushed us to start the business is the same really as what drives us today, to help other business owners get a transparent, honest and clear understanding of the technology world that seems quite often alien to them.
Right. Great. So you're offering quite a broad range of services. Do you deliver all those yourself, or do you have other people working with you?
The majority of them we do deliver ourselves, but we do have associates that work alongside us. So I do have other professionals that I can call on if the circumstances dictate it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So if I was a small business and I came to you and I said, I've got this website, what would be some of the things you would ask me? So I come to the website, I bring my website to you and I say, I need more traffic to my website. What were the first few things you would say?
I think first of all, we'd be asking, did you have something that could monitor the traffic itself? So have you got Google Analytics installed on the website, or another analytics service, because that gives us not just a reflection of how much traffic there is to a website, but also where that traffic's coming from. So that enables us to see where it's coming from, what it does when it gets there, and then on beyond that to see whether that traffic is liking the message that's being delivered to them. Quite often websites fail because the message isn't quite right to the audience. Rather than design, it can often be the message that's being put across. So I'd be wanting to know from you what your experience was. Have you got statistics for us to look at? Because at the end of the day, I'm an analyst. Is there a particular area you feel it could be better in? I'd be asking you as well about who your target market was. Who was it aimed at?
Right. Okay, yeah, and then obviously that would probably guide something like the content strategy and things like that, right?
Yeah, because it's not always about rebuilding it. Sometimes it's just about refocusing it to the right people, so it talks to the right audience.
Right.
So you need to know what that audience is.
Yeah. Okay. And what would you say was a good size company for you? What's your ideal customer?
We deal with everyone from micro businesses to businesses that have got quite a lot of employees, to be fair. It's not really. We tend to deal with those businesses who aren't quite big enough to have their own departments.
Right.
So we're usually dealing with those where somebody's been allocated the task to look after the website rather than it being a departmental issue that you've got a department that looks after it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, that would be thousands and thousands of businesses are in that situation.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent. Thank you. Can you tell us what your biggest challenge has been to date?
I think my biggest challenge in business was my own self-doubt. Like many small business owners, I've had my fair share of imposter syndrome. You're working alongside some great supportive people has helped me minimize it, but sometimes I'll still get the odd wobble. I've found that talking with other business owners who are often feeling exactly the same way, it's usually the best way to get over that.
Right. Okay, no, that's excellent. Question number 3, which is one thing you wish somebody had told you when you first started out?
Well, before I started my own business, I didn't realize just how tough it would be to take on every single role that's necessary to run a business. So what would I tell myself from experience? Don't be afraid to outsource.
Right. Yeah, actually, what you said there was very, very common amongst all the other people we've spoken to. They were very surprised at how many hats they had to wear, and that one or two said the actual time I spend doing the thing I want to do is quite a small proportion of the working week because I'm doing other things as well.
Yeah, it can be.
Like selling, for example.
That marketing, selling, admin, yeah.
All those sorts of things. You mentioned there outsourcing. How do people start outsourcing? How does that work?
I think the first thing you need to do if you want to outsource is look at the tasks that you dislike doing because you're less inclined to do them. So find the things that you don't like doing that aren't dependent totally on you. So the first thing I outsourced was my accounts. I wasn't going to do the accounts. So that's absolutely the first thing I outsourced. I got a good accountant on board who takes care of all of that for me. And then it's quite often it's admin things that can be outsourced. You can't really outsource the work you alone not have the knowledge of, but all the other things that surround the business, quite a few can. So find what you don't like to do, or what it would be more cost effective to get someone else to do. If you're doing it, but it takes 3 times as long as it would take a professional, it's cheaper to pay a professional to do it.
Can you recommend where somebody might go to find an admin virtual assistant or something like that?
Yeah, there are quite a lot of virtual assistants out there, and some of them specialize in different areas. I would always look for recommendations from other business owners to if they've used a VA or they know a VA from their networking. Go by recommendation because not all VAs are created equal. They have their own specialisms. So whatever it is you want to outsource, find somebody who enjoys doing that, not someone who does it for the sake of it. Because if they enjoy doing it, they will do a much better job for you.
Right, that's great advice. Yeah, thank you very much. Next question is, what is the next step for your business?
Well, we've been working hard to take the business forward and work with bigger companies. We'd like to work with those who have recently moved out of that one-man band scenario. The companies like that have often grown organically, but without any real plan. It's just happened for them. We've been there ourselves, and we know if we can go in and do proper analysis, we can help them work more efficiently. As we've been doing the business consultancy to that end to get businesses to look at themselves holistically and put things in place that perhaps they haven't always thought of in the past.
Right, so business consultancy, not just web consultancy, but actually about their business processes.
Yeah, we've got a business consultant and a business analyst that we can bring in, so we can look at the whole thing. So we'd go in and look at what they need and then bring in whoever is appropriate to that.
Right, okay. And how do you actually find your clients?
A lot of our clients still come from word of mouth. We are recommended. We've been working for 17 years, so we've got a lot of recommendations and referrals that come into us. For the smaller businesses, we found that Facebook is quite a good source of leads. We'll get quite a few go through to the website from our Facebook account, and it's where we can start a conversation. We get a small amount as well from LinkedIn, but not as many. But that tends to be the bigger companies that we deal with tend to come via LinkedIn, whereas the small businesses, the micro businesses, it's coming through social media.
Yeah.
Because you can start a conversation with them on social media.
And the Facebook, is that through advertising or just the content you're putting out?
That's through the content that we're putting out and starting those conversations and knowing really where we need to go to and what message we need to get out in which groups.
Right. Okay. Excellent. If somebody gave you £500 to spend on marketing, how would you spend it?
We would make a corporate video. Video is such an important part today of the internet and internet marketing, and having a professionally shot video can really improve how your potential customers feel about you and your business. Having amateur shot video for use on social is brilliant, but I feel when someone comes to your website, you just need to have that little bit of an edge. So that's where we'd spend £500.
That's a really great idea, actually. No, I really like that one. And £500, I don't know the cost of having videos made. Is that within budget or?
You'd probably be pushing it, but the videographer that I work with, that I know we can shoot something within that budget. He'd be looking at £450 to £500 minimum spend, up to £700, £800 for a day shoot. So it depends on whether you're doing half a day's filming or a day's filming, really, whether that would be in budget. But I know there are companies out there who charge, they wouldn't get out of bed for less than £800.
Yeah. Is that something you offer your clients, or?
Yeah, we can do. I mean, we're lucky enough to have a company that is an associate. So we do know that we can go out and get video shot for them that is high quality for them. But it's not just about having the high quality. We work together with the videographer to make sure they're delivering the right message out to the clients as well, which is just as important as it looking professional. It's got to be right. So
you would put together some sort of spec for
we would,
and then guide them. Yeah,
we would.
Yeah. Okay, got it. That's great. Do you have a business mentor or a group that you go to?
I've been working with a business consultant myself, so he's been working with me to boost the business. He's done a lot to help me think differently about me, about my skills and the business as a whole. He's a really, really good sounding board for ideas, and he's made me accountable. I'm accountable to him, so when he tells me I've got to do something, I have to get it done or he will kick my bum. But I've got a great group of businesses that I network with as well, and they're really, really supportive. So I've got those on a day-to-day basis as well as the more formal sessions with a business consultant. It's important, I think, to surround yourself with positive people and people who are going to boost you up when you have a little wobble. So, you know, even if you haven't got a proper business consultant, have an accountability partner, have someone you can bounce things off.
No, that's really good advice. I've got a weekly accountability partner, and every week I send her an email with the things I did the week just gone and the things I'm going to do the following week. She sends me the same. And I've been doing that process with different people for about 4 years, and it is absolutely vital for me. I'm absolutely a loner. I'm not a team player at all, and I would gladly just disappear off into the wilderness and do my own thing, which I have actually done in the past. But this, I would like to get more, more coaching, actually, to be honest. But this accountability, I think accountability is such a great thing, so important. Because that email I write helps me to plan the week, rather than me just drifting through, banging into rocks as I get washed ashore, you know. And it helps me to plan, and it keeps me on target. And in Proactive, I've got a note. You can write notes in Proactive, and I just go through the things every day, just updating what I'm doing. So yeah, no, that's really, really good. Okay. Can you give us one actionable sales tip?
Yeah, it's be present. Just pushing out marketing messages isn't you've got to be involved in a conversation, and just doing your marketing when your sales are down, it's not the right way to approach it. You've got to be there and be consistent. You've got to keep going. You've got to show up in your marketing, because what we see with small businesses is they decide they're quiet, they haven't got any business coming in the future, so they market themselves. Then they get busy, so they don't market themselves, so then they end up with no business coming in, and you get this sort of roller coaster. So be there, be present, and keep going, keep doing it. Even when you're really, really busy, you need to find that time to do that little bit of marketing and to keep that message going out there and stay visible in the eyes of your clients and your potential clients.
Would you say that people should do some marketing every day, or pick 3 days a week or something? Or
some of it depends on the business. You should, if you are using social media, then you need to be on those platforms every day to pick up on any conversations that have been started with you. So you do need to have that interaction every day, at least Monday to Friday. People don't always expect you to respond over weekend, but certainly if someone's commented on a post you put up on social media, they expect something within 24 hours of you to come back to them. And you miss out if you don't do that. But pushing the marketing message out there, well, you could just do a bulk of that once a week and just schedule it all out. But you do need to make sure you do check in on the platforms as well.
Right. Okay. That's very, very practical advice, Jan. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also thank you very much for being our guest today. Part of the secret to achieving true success in business is in focusing on the specific things that result in sales and revenue generation. If you are a small business owner or freelancer and you would like to break through overwhelm, gain focus and grow your business, visit myproactivebusiness.com.